Such a crazy day yesterday, huh? With the Nxvim guy. Actually got an email from his brother now. We were wondering how they were going to respond. And Dan was saying he thought that what was his name? Fuck, I don't even James. James? Mark. I didn't remember his name. He's crying right now seeing that I don't even remember his name. Um his Dan thought he was gonna mass email him because he had emailed Dan a bunch of times leading up to it. And he was super excited. So now after this happened, we were wondering if we'd hear from them. Dan hasn't heard from him, but his brother emailed me and straight to my personal email too. Not even to my work email. So apparently his brother is capable of a little more research than him. He emailed me begging me on the note of human decency. He says, "My deep and earnest request that you resend your comments. That he's a scam artist." Because his brother vouches for him. He says, "I know he's a good dude." He insists he has Tourette's, so maybe I don't know. I just know that whatever's going on with his Tourette's, there's some deception there, in my opinion. In my opinion. Also, his brother seems to be potentially, again, in my opinion, based on this email, a member of Nxvim as well. Tell me what you think about this, Hila. I'm going to read it. First of all, it's like a whole one. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 paragraphs. So this is like probably a full on. Let me do a word count on this. In college, what was a good, like a good little paper, like 500, 1,200 words, something like that? It's like just a nice little write up. I look like a ghost. Yeah, I don't know. I just exercised. I haven't showered yet. I am very pale and ghost like. You guys want to see how many words? He sent me 781 words. That's a respectable. That's just a respectable write up, right? So listen to this paragraph, Hila. I want your take on this. Hila's super into this Nxvim stuff too. Of course, he starts the email by saying, "Hi, I'm Mark. I'm the Mark's older brother. I caught the second half of your interview with him yesterday." So you didn't even watch the whole thing? You didn't watch the whole thing? You spent more time writing me this goddamn email than you did. Just at least watch the whole thing if you're going to write 14 pages. I don't really know. I think, in a way, trying to signal that he can't be, yeah, he can't be fucked. Then he continues. He says, "I'll save my opinion about the interview for a later time." No. What do you mean a later time, bro? How many times do you expect to talk to me? "I'll save my opinion about the interview for our sequences of conversations down the road as our long, fruitful relationship blossoms." He says, "I'm writing because I've seen Mark go through many challenges. However, never have I seen him publicly called a scam artist on a widely watched platform. Not only is it dishonorable..." Bro, what am I, a samurai? "Dishonorable is plainly false," he says. That's the problem, right? That's kind of what the problem was, is this guy's never been called out. "That is dishonorable." Sure. I didn't even read the part about. I think he's an Nxvim, but go ahead.
So my thoughts about watching yesterday is, first of all, when you called him out on that, he did not like really um argue it. Like, I feel like if I was actually sick, or if I actually had Tourette's and someone had the audacity to tell me like you're faking it, I would be like, are you crazy? Like, I would have so much energy about like, hell no, this is real. I felt it. I grew up with it. And like, he didn't. I just it almost seemed like he was like, well, yeah, you kind of caught me.
He didn't even try to engage with it. In fact, it seemed like
Nothing.
he tried to move past it
Yeah.
quickly.
And then also the other thing is like, if that's really
Oh,
like,
they're saying you're quiet here.
oh, like you showed on the website, is like, do you want to cure your Tourette's, or are you tired of having it? What was the
Hmm.
sentence on his website?
I don't
So
remember, but it was something like,
something like a
I've
question.
completely, yeah, you get, that's the gist of it.
So it's totally like made a career of this.
Oh, yeah.
And if you actually did that, like, wouldn't you have a few success stories of like other people that happened to them?
So he made a documentary
Uh-huh.
in collaboration with Nexium. It's actually on YouTube, so I was considering watching it, where he takes a few people with severe Tourette's and cures them through Nexium's. I mean, here, let me read you this paragraph. He says, "Finally, I witnessed Mark overcome his Tourette's. I saw his severe tics make a precipitous drop after taking a Nexium training and working with the organization's leadership on his disorder." It's like, dude, you're you're riding their dick kind of hard there.
I saw his doctor's disbelief. Can I see that? Like, wouldn't it be such a big story if there was a
Oh
doctor
yeah, that's so
completely in
stupid.
shock? Oh my God, Nxvim cured Tourette's.
Well, so he said. So he goes on. He says, "I saw him miraculously, precipitously drop after taking a Nixium," and he capitalized every letter. He's putting respect on their name. Training and working with the organization's leadership, our dear leader. I saw him do more work over the ensuing months to overcome his remaining tics, and I saw his doctor's disbelief
Yeah.
in his accomplishments of becoming a tick-free without formal treatment. His doctor, a neurologist, I'm assuming, who specializes in stuff like this, Tourette's and such, is like, "Oh, you fixed it." He's not like, "Yo, let me check this shit out. I'm a doctor. I want to." He's fixed. So I saw his doctor's disbelief. I also watched him find 10 other people with severe Tourette's who wanted to try to replicate his results. I saw firsthand nearly all of them overcome their disorder with only the help from skilled practitioners in Nexium
Mm-hmm.
and motivation from Mark's past success to propel them forward. So he's really in that paragraph riding dick hard on Nexium.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely a part of it, but
He
based on reading this.
he goes on to quote. He says about the documentary, "I trust it was an honest mistake and that you missed the 2008 YouTube short about him, Tourette's What Makes You Tick. That came out long before he knew Nexium existed. I also trust you didn't watch my Tourette's documentary on YouTube that chronicled the journey of him and four other people overcoming Tourette's with Nexium's tools." Don't you find
Okay.
you're just a little fucking hacky, bro? How you're like, and he's sucking the dick of Nexium and Nexium's leadership,
Mm-hmm.
who is now in jail. One of my favorite parts of that interview when he's like, Keith and also his co-partner, I forget her name, who's also in jail. I was like, yeah, they're all in jail, bro. He goes on, he says, yeah. So I found his warmness to Nexium a little suspect.
I really couldn't stand how every time he was like, listen, I don't condone rape. I'm not for sexual assault,
Hmm.
but I'm here to tell you this girl was lying. And she didn't say it under oath. So she was lying.
This girl and
And
all
and
50,
I'll take this guy, Ranieri, I'll take his word over anything. But this girl is lying. But
and all the other ones.
I hate rape though. Really hate it. And I don't want to be related to rape. Mm-mm. But this guy that they found guilty and they put him in jail, he's right, and the girl lied because it wasn't under oath.
Also, he didn't have much to say when I showed him the branding.
Yeah.
He got real quiet when I was like, he's like, why? What does that have to do with anything? I'm like, well, I thought we were talking about Keith Raniere as not being a rapist. Oh, yeah, he said she's a little kinky. That was so good. He's like, listen, this girl, she's known for being kinky. It's awesome.
That was
That's
crazy.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting to me is hearing his arguments in defense. You can really tell that these opinions have never been challenged in a serious way because he's doing these kind of boilerplate
Yeah.
logical fallacy defense. Like he goes, there was never money exchanged. It's like there was never violence. It's like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
That doesn't absolve it
And
at all.
one last thought I had when I was listening is I wonder if anybody else noticed how much he like sounds like he's trying to imitate Keith Raniere. The way he talks, he sounds exactly like him.
Yeah, I felt when I was talking to him that he was trying to do something with his demeanor, like very
Yes.
purposeful and intentional with the way he carries himself.
It's the Nxvim way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way they're like. So there's like 17,000 people. It's like the way they pronounce stuff, and they think that if they say numbers, and there's like a mix of like I'm gonna say a few numbers and I'm gonna pronounce it a certain way, I'm gonna sound so educated, and I'm gonna convince you. It doesn't matter what I'm telling you, but you're gonna be convinced. It's like that's probably part of their classes.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the one thing you hear time and time again in these documentaries is that Keith Raniere was like a very.
You know that it's Raniere, right?
I don't care. Yeah, apparently I've been saying it wrong. Keith Raniere
Yeah.
was a incredible speaker, very manipulative in the way that he could talk to people
Yes.
and persuade people, right?
Yeah. So manipulative, it could manipulate you out of having Tourette's. Boom.